So good evening, everybody. The July 28th, 2021 meeting of the Long Branch City Council will now come to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Dangler?
Here.
Mr. Vieira?
Here.
Mrs. Wittes?
Here.
Dr. Selly?
Here.
Dr. Vogt?
Here.
I hereby certify that this meeting has been published in the newspaper and adequate and electronic notice has been provided in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act and the New Jersey Administrative Code, Title 5, Chapter 39, Section 1.5, Notice of Remote Public Meetings as required by law.
Thank you. We'll now recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. The Long Branch Mayor, this is our statement on civility. The Long Branch Mayor, City Council, and Administration are committed to cultivating an environment of mutual trust and respect that values the diversity of our community. We will strive to enhance the quality of life for all who live here by making Long Branch a desirable place in which to live and prosper. We will treat all members of the public with respect and expect the same in return. Reading and approval of the previous minutes, I need a motion to approve the minutes of the July 14th, 2021 meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Dangler?
Yes.
Mr. Vieira?
Yes.
Mrs. Wittes?
Yes.
Dr. Selly?
Yes.
Dr. Vogt?
Yes. Consideration of ordinances, public hearing, and final consideration of ordinance 1821. This is an ordinance amending supplementing Chapter 19 contracts regarding the award of contracts for significant public construction and maintenance and required evidence of contractor's responsibility. This ordinance was introduced on July 14th, 2021, and establishes the qualification for contractors who work on significant public projects. Significant public projects are defined as those requiring payment of prevailing wages and in the amount in excess of $100,000. The ordinance requires, under certain circumstances, proof of OSHA compliance and training and participation in an established apprenticeship program. Section 2 of the ordinance establishes the form of contractor responsibility certification required to be filed by bidders. I need a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved. Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
If any member of the public has any comments to make on ordinance 1821 only, please dial *9 on your phone and a representative will call on you by the last 3 digits of your phone number. When you're called upon, state your name and address clearly for the record. You will have 5 minutes and may only speak once.
Caller whose phone number ends in 350. Go ahead.
He's muted.
Yeah, Ernest McNolly, 710 Northeast 7th Street, Boynton Beach, Florida. I'd like to start out by saying that contractors in Long Branch have been at it for a long time. I was born there in 1948, and it would be pretty obvious and clear based on this resolution that I've been a personal witness my whole life to major, minor, legal, illegal, criminal development, developers, et cetera, et cetera. I've lived in this area through Operation Bid Rig, which horribly affected Long Branch and Asbury Park and Deal and most of New Jersey. So here's the thing relative to contractors, and I'm talking about this resolution now. look, I know almost everybody that does work in Long Branch. And I'm going to tell you something, that they're not qualified. They're not qualified. And the reason why? Because they were either born there or raised there. And through connections with lots of administrations, they get these partial decisions to get jobs, major jobs, minor jobs, contracts. It doesn't stop. It just doesn't stop. You know, Long Branch needs new vetting, new training, not people that are going to tear down Lower Broadway and sink all the pollution into a big hole in the ground and then bring in some clean soil from all over the state and county and cover it up. There's a lot of people who know what these contractors are doing. You know, Operation Bid Rig, Pier Village. Everybody knew it was illegal to take homes for homes, but the city lawyers figured, well, by the time they bring us to court and we pay the fine with the contractors, we'll have it built and sold and occupied. And that's what happened. So look, you keep talking contractors, and yet if you look at the dossiers of the Long Branch contractors, they are no doubt, half of them are associated with Solomon Dweck's era Operation Bid Rig. The ones today are way too conflicted and way too close with city officials, mayors, planning boards, zoning boards, assembly, senators. It doesn't stop. It's never. I don't think it's ever going to stop. So how much time do I have left?
2 minutes.
Okay. So what I'm saying is you're trying to pass a resolution and you're going to give it to people like the mayor and council and the city officials who just keep doing this over and over for decades. There's about 10 names that should never be allowed to do anything in Long Branch again. Forever. But you know what? Every time you turn around, there's another approval, another way of getting them these jobs, whether it's demolition or infrastructure or contract or building or redevelopment or development. It doesn't, I mean, you can't, in my opinion, you shouldn't do this. You have to figure out a whole new way to vet contractors in Long Branch. And not this that you'll be in control of, because let the public have some say. Have public meetings about a contractor that's going to get awarded a job. Let us all comment. People who know them from the fathers, grandfathers, and who they are, and let us have a say. Not just you, because you all keep approving everything, and the same people keep making millions and billions there. I mean, is it ever going to end? Ever. So I say, vote no on this. Come up with something, a different way that the public is involved in vetting these contractors. How much time do I have left?
15 seconds.
Okay. Let me just thank you for the opportunity to speak. How's that?
Thank you, Mr. McNolly.
No other hands raised.
Okay, I need a motion to close this public hearing on ordinance 18-21.
I'll
So
move.
moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
This is the second reading of ordinance 1821, titled an ordinance amending supplementing chapter 19 contracts, rewarding the award of contracts to significant public construction and maintenance and required evidence of a contractor responsibility. I need a motion to adopt on second and final reading and advertise accordingly to law.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Dangler?
Yes.
Mr. Viera?
Yes.
Mrs. Wittes?
Yes.
Dr. Selly?
Yes.
Dr. Vogt?
Yes. Thank you. Ordinances for introduction. This is the first reading of ordinance 19-21, entitled an ordinance of the city of Long Branch authorizing acceptance and execution of deed of site triangle easement known as lot 26.01, block 117 on the official tax map of the city of Long Branch. And here's the summary of what this ordinance is about. This is an ordinance authorizing the mayor and the city clerk to execute a deed of site triangle easement with Enclave at West End LLC for a perpetual non-exclusive easement for the purpose of providing operators of vehicles and pedestrians with an unobstructed view across the site easement. I need a motion to introduce on first reading, advertise and post according to law, and set the public hearing for August 11th, 2021.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Public participation for resolutions and all general comments.
President, you got a mover in a second. You need a roll call vote.
Roll call.
Okay, I'm sorry. Roll call on that.
Mr. Dangler?
Yes.
Mr. Viera?
Yes.
Mrs. Wittes?
Yes.
Dr. Selly?
Yes.
Dr. Vogt?
Yes. Public participation for resolutions and all general comments. I need a motion to open the public portion of the meeting for all comments.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. If any member of the public has any comment to make, please dial *9 on your phone and a representative will call on you by the last 3 digits of your phone number. When you're called upon, state your name and address clearly for the record. You'll have 5 minutes to talk and may only speak once. All comments should be addressed to the council president. There will be no cross dialogue during the public portion. After everyone from the public wishing to speak has been heard, any member of the council or the administration may address your comments and questions. While public participation is encouraged and valued, the presiding officer reserves the right to terminate remarks to or by any individual not in keeping with the conduct of a proper and efficient meeting. Will, if we have anyone who wants to make a comment.
Caller whose phone number ends in 350. Go ahead.
Ernest McNally, 710 Northeast 7th Street, Boynton Beach, Florida. I take exception to the last comment by the council president that you have the right to terminate people during the public participation section. There are numerous lawsuits that have been resolved in Long Branch against you doing that, and there are upcoming ones. So I just take exception to that. So let me move on to, so now 6/19/2021 and 20. What happened at Pier Village in Long Branch that spread through Monmouth County and New Jersey and even into New York, which brought riot and state police and all emergency personnel from multi-states, multi-counties, New Jersey Transit, et cetera, et cetera. And what happens? Your public safety director, your mayor and your city attorney and your city manager are trying to cover it up. Why do I say that? I'm filing Oprahs for documents and they're denying everything. And your lawyer is so sophisticated with these 3-page denials that, listen, there's witnesses. Everybody knows what happened. Everybody knows what went on. But what happens? You got a law firm now that's just like the one before that just tries to cover everything up, hide everything, deny documents. Then you bring in a public safety director from a troubled place who had trouble in other places, and now he's making trouble here. Now, every time I say that, you try and mute me, but it's a fact. Everything I say is a fact. So your whole cascade of muting people is not valid, and you only do it to cover up what are facts. Now, this public safety director relative to 6/19 and 20 has made horrible comments in the newspapers. He elicited statements from a Officer Shea, who's retired, who was horrible in the comments, right? And on and on. Whatever you deal with, it's just a cover-up, a cover-up. In other words, I file an open, they say, no, there were no damages. What no damages? What no damage? There's pictures of people jumping on police cars. You can't jump on a police car on the hood without damaging it. They said, no damages. No damages to anything. Then I said, how about fires? We don't know about any fires. They were trying to set fire in front of one of the stores. Okay. Well, and then after all this happens, two senators who see it like the whole world saw it, Senator Singer from Monmouth and Ocean County, Senator Panopkia from Essex and Morris County, said, I'm going to generate legislation S3992 for riots and riot behavior and assaulting police and entrapping people, threatening people in fear for their lives. And what do you all come out with in the paper? Oh, it was a little party that went astray. What little party? Why don't you watch the videos? And look what you're doing with Wall's case. I come up with a police report from 2012 made by Rizzuto and Korn. They were at his house about a suspicious chemical bottle. Everybody said, McNulty, you're never going to find that report. I found it. I have it. That ties Rizzuto and Korn to Walls at 357 West End Avenue 9 years ago with suspicious chemicals that would be explosive and used for you know what, right? So this whole thing that you're putting people on the news, oh, this is a Family Guy, and the prosecutor trying to get him off by not really investigating. And look who's assigned to the case, Melanie Falco. She gets everybody off. That's what you're planning. How much time do I have left?
Exactly 1 minute.
1 minute. Okay. So here are major problem cases. Walls, right? Pascucci, Joyce Jr., Roebuck. Look at Roebuck now. Federal lawsuits for what he did, right? And then a Superior Court Judge O'Brien said he acted criminally, and this mayor and the last mayor and the last council and this city attorney will not do anything to Roebuck. Will not. When Judge O'Brien ruled he acted criminally in his violation of Jordan versus Harvey, tampering with the police officers, phony police report, unlawful arrest, unlawful signing a summons, which he wasn't allowed to do. And what do you do about it? Nothing. And what does Renone do about everything? Nothing. He denies everything. Mr. Renone, you're not smarter than us. One day you're going to realize that. A lot of us are smarter than you.
5
But the way you talk and the way my time's up?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McNulty.
Caller whose phone number ends in 198. Go ahead.
Mr. IT Man, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Vincent Lepore, 33 Ocean Terrace, Long Branch, 1 minute notification, please. Concerning the 109-unit mega luxury oceanfront development project, 290 Ocean LLC, also known as the Palone Oceanfront Project. Ms. Wittes, Council Liaison to the Environmental Commission. I want you to hear the following paragraph from the NJDEP CAFRA decision dated June 22nd, 2021. Quote, the Division of Land Resource, acting under the provisions of the Coastal Zone Management Rules, NJAC 7:7-1.1 et seq., has decided not to approve this CAFRA individual permit application. End quote. Permit denied. Ms. Wittes, project denied. At the December 9th meeting, Ms. Wittes, of 2020, you, along with the rest of this council, voted for Ordinance 26, the Palone Oceanfront Project. That decision was based, and I'm quoting you, Ms. Wittes, on your, quote, feelings, end quote. Ms. Wittes, not the facts, Ms. Wittes. While you even referred to the units as condos upon my questioning, when in fact, Ms. Wittes, this was a rental project. Ms. Wittes, again, upon my further questioning, you found no flaws in Ordinance 26, nor flaws in Resolution 243 related to the Palone Oceanfront Project, even though I pointed those flaws out to you, Ms. Wittes, as R243 conflicted with Ordinance 26. In fact, Ms. Wittes, in fact, conflicted. Ms. Wittes, you accused me of a differing position as having an, quote, opinion, end quote, when quite the opposite, Ms. Wittes, I had the substantiated facts. At the November 24, 2020 council meeting, Attorney Raynone stated about the Palone Oceanfront project that it was, quote, fairly consistent with what's been happening on the oceanfront, end quote. I stated, again to the contrary, that the rest of the oceanfront projects in that beachfront south redevelopment zone were governed by NJAC 7:7-7.1 et set. General permit by rule. Fact, Ms. Wittes, fact, not opinion. Attorney Raynone has been proven wrong by NJDEP CAFA. Even by individual permit application standards, the Palone Oceanfront project was non-compliant, faulted miserably, failing so badly by the numbers that an appeal or request for dispute remediation would be unsuccessful. The bottom line, Ms. Wittes, the Palone Oceanfront project was too damn big and environmentally unsound. All along, I maintained the position that the Palone Oceanfront project was spot zoning, and a lawsuit has been filed against you, Ms. Wittes, and the rest of the council for spot zoning. On July 20th, well after the June 22nd DEP CAFA decision, the city's planning board, in its infinite incompetency, continued to hear the Palone Oceanfront project without ever once citing the DEP CAFA letter of denial, which it received, until I entered it into the record.
1 minute warning.
The fact is, precedence has been established with the planning board to incorporate NJDEP CAFA input, with this current planning board refused to do. The planning board conflicted itself in approving the Palone Oceanfront project in the face of NJDEP CAFA denial. Another lawsuit is on the way. The $2 million quid pro quo sitting in the city's accounts is nothing but to feed the Palone pay-to-play gravy train. It is now with the man. The entire Long Branch Environmental Commission, the Long Branch Planning Board, council, mayor, and administration resign effective immediately for the betrayal of the public trust. This isn't just junk government. This is complete racketeering junk government.
Thank you, Mr. Lepore. Bill, are there any other calls?
No other hands raised.
Okay, thank you. Madam Clerk, have you received any public comment by electronic mail or written letter?
No.
Okay, I need a motion to close the public participation portion of this meeting.
So moved.
All in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. Resolutions. We can take the list of resolutions as the consent agenda.
There were 2 resolutions added, Anita.
Okay, Heather, do you have those that you could mention?
Resolution 196-21, which was a resolution releasing an escrow deposit for Beachfront North. And 197-21, a resolution releasing an escrow deposit for Beachfront North also.
Okay, thank you. So those 2 added to the list. Again, we can take the list of resolutions as a consent agenda. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Dangler?
Yes.
Mr. Viera?
Yes.
Mrs. Wittes?
Yes.
Dr. Selly?
Yes.
And Dr. Vogt?
Yes.
I just want to mention those 2 resolutions that were added were put on the website earlier, so the public does have them.
Okay, good. Thank you, Heather. Applications, there are none. Miscellaneous business for the good of the order. Councilman Dangler.
Yes, thank you. The only thing I have is just to remind everyone, we still need to not drop our guard in regards to COVID-19. I know we like not having our masks, but please try and be safe. And tonight, I would just like to urge all of you who are listening to just talk to people and see if you can convince them to get the vaccine if they have not gotten it yet. That is really the only way that we are going to be able to fight this pandemic that we are going through. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Thank you, Councilman Dangler. Councilman Vieira.
Thank you, Councilwoman, for this, Council President. Yes, I'd like to also repeat what Councilman Dangler say, stay safe out there, and let's stay safe because this is coming back, and put your masks on if in closed areas. I also want to thank Stan Zoo and the Public Works. Great job they're doing out there, our police force, and especially our beach crew, Danny George and all the lifeguards working in our beaches, keeping us safe, and the pool also. They're doing a great job out there. And with that, good night.
Thank you, Councilman Vieira. Councilwoman Wittes.
Hi, good evening. I just would like to say thank you for everyone who's listening in on the meeting this evening. And I hope that you're enjoying your summer, and please stay safe and be healthy. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Selly.
Good evening. I would just like to reiterate what all my colleagues said. It's very important that you pay attention to the latest directives that have come from CDC. It is important that you use your mask indoor if possible. I know it's difficult, but we're having another epidemic and we should pay attention to what's going on. And so I'm asking you to stay safe, and God bless you all. Amen.
Thank you. Mayor Plum.
Thank you, Council President. I just want to have everyone have a great week. Thank you all for your comments. Councilwoman Wittes and the said, stay safe, be healthy, and enjoy the rest of the summer and the week.
Thank you. I would just like to make a comment. When I read things like this, I just feel so proud of Long Branch. Long Branch was in the news again this past week, having been awarded 3 grants. One in particular that I just want to bring to your attention, which I think says such a positive statement about Long Branch, and that's a $32,000 grant, $32,000 grant that we got from the New Jersey Department of Transportation. And it's for the Urban Youth Corps Summer Jobs Program. And this is what they're funding. For those of you, I don't know how many of you are familiar with Shore House. Shore House is a spectacular organization that we have in Long Branch that works with people who are living with mental illness and works to build their self-esteem and works to build their independence. And so this grant is funding clients from Shore House to work at Jackson Woods Park and to do some of the cleanup and beautifying work. All of you, I think, if you haven't gotten to Jackson Woods Park, you need to get there and see the amazing work that's going on there in general. And the fact that we have been able to get a grant, not only for the park, but in support of our colleagues and our friends and our residents who are dealing with mental illness, I think is just extraordinary. I love seeing Long Branch in a leadership role like that. So congratulations to everybody who had a part of making that happen. Two other quick things. Tomorrow at Bucky James from 1 to 4. We mentioned this before and it's on our website. Those of you who are able to do a blood donation, please consider doing that. With the COVID situation being what it is, the availability of blood for all of us here in Long Branch is critically important. So if you can do that, that's extremely important. And the last thing, For those of you, if you don't know how the amazing Monmouth Family Health Center that we have, next week is National Health Center Week. And on August 4th, they're having a back to school free farmers market. And it's having health screenings, COVID vaccines, raffles, school supplies for kids. They do a wonderful job with everything that they make available to our residents. If you can stop over there, it would be great to support them and a great opportunity for them to support you. So again, it's August 4th from 1 to 4 at the Family Health Center on Broadway. And with that, I certainly second all the comments from my colleagues about staying safe. And unfortunately, those masks, I think, need to get back on and have a safe and healthy next 2 weeks. And hopefully we'll see you at our next meeting. Thank you for joining us tonight. And with that, I need a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Safe time.
Good night.
Bye-bye.